question your beliefs and re-experience life in a completely different way. Just soaking up the sunshine here on a kind of final spring ski day. Yes, it's still happening. End of April, we're going into May. I'm maximizing as much as I possibly can when it comes to this season and getting out here and doing what I love. And was just on the drive out listening to Tony Robbins CD set we've been going through with my daughter that we got from her grandmother. And it's awesome. This one in particular CD was so powerful. He was talking about beliefs and values, but the part that really stuck out was this idea that any experience you want to have in life is all dependent on your beliefs. So he used success as an example, and we all have a different belief about what success looks like, right? If you think about, I want to be successful, okay? If this happens, then you would deem yourself successful. What is that for you? And it was an interesting question to ponder, to reflect on. But what was even more fascinating was the perspectives he gave. So he talked about two different people, must have been at one of his seminars. He was talking about this guy, by anyone's standard, right? The guy was like super fit, super wealthy, great relationship, business, all these things. And then he asked him, like, are you successful? And the guy went on this he's like, the short answer was no. And then he went to define what success looked like to him. It was a certain percentage, body mass, fat ratio. Then it was, to reach, X amount in income and all these things, again, by anyone else's standards, like this guy was just crushing it at life. And yet to himself, he wasn't successful. And then he shifted to another person who he had, noticed to be kind of just lively, upbeat, as he described it, almost bouncing off the walls, this person with just like kind of happiness and elation. And so he asked him, like, do you consider yourself successful? And he's like, yes. And it's like, so what is success to you? And he says, well, success to me is like just being on the right side of the ground, like every day above ground is a good day. That is success. And just thinking about that, like, what an easy bar of success. And not, and I think we should, let's have high ideals, high aspirations. But if you have like a lower bar of success, and really actually that is success. If you think about it, not everybody gets to wake up every morning. If you that is something to celebrate. And naturally a result, this man was just, as Tony described him, was just buoyantly happy, because just waking up, just being alive was successful. And so what can we shift about our own beliefs of what it means to be happy, successful, whatever these kind of values, these things that we kind of hold as high ideals, what we're all striving for. I think if we just re-examine, shift, and make that bar just a little bit lower, it can make life a whole lot easier. And not to say, just because this guy woke up and he was successful, I'm sure that does not mean the rest of his day was just what, I'm sure he was still striving and achieving and, having further successes in his life. Whereas the guy who, quote unquote, had it all by so many other measures, had a kind of a dissatisfaction. And I'm sure that drove him to further heights. But at what point do you want to actually just start enjoying your life and, acknowledging and appreciating all that you have and all that you've gained and attained? There's real power in that.